In Bangladesh, there's new information this morning about one of the worst industrial accidents ever. A government committee found several violations that have caused last month's massive factory collapse. More than 1,000 workers were killed.
And in this report, it says that the owner used poor quality cement and iron rods, and 2 floors were illegally added. Holly Williams went undercover in Bangladesh to find out what's going on. She joins us from London. Holly, good morning. What did you find?
Well, good morning, Charlie and Nora. The horror of that factory collapse is still very, very raw in Bangladesh. We spoke to one of the survivors, a 15-year-old garment worker named Tamina. She told us that on the morning of the collapse, she didn't want to go into the factory because she'd already seen cracks in the walls. But she said her supervisor slapped her face and forced her to go inside. Now, remember, this is just the latest in a string of accidents in Bangladesh's garment factories. Last November, more than 100 people died in a fire inside a factory that made clothes for export to the US. Bangladesh's government has promised to improve safety in factories, but labour activists say the country's workers are so powerless that they're forced to work in dangerous conditions. During our visit to Bangladesh, we posed as customers and filmed secretly inside factories. And what we saw was hair-raising. In one factory, nearly all of the fire extinguishers were missing and an emergency exit door was blocked almost to the ceiling with boxes. In another place, we saw young workers spraying toxic chemicals that can cause nerve damage, and they weren't even wearing face masks. Charlie and Nora.
Holly, what are U.S. retailers doing?
Well, one thing we found is that lots of US retailers don't even know in which factory their products are being made because they have a contract with a supplier or a middleman, not the factory itself. Labour groups say those retailers have to start taking responsibility. They say US companies benefit from very low wages in Bangladesh, which keeps their costs down. So the least they can do is make sure workers aren't dying.